My friends, there comes a time in every life, a quiet, trembling moment, when the world seems to whisper,
You're done.
when the doors you once walked through close with a sound that echoes deep in your chest, when the light you used to chase seems to fade somewhere far beyond your reach. But it is in that darkness where the comeback begins. Every great comeback begins in the silence after the fall. When everything seems broken, when the noise of defeat fills your ears, that's where true transformation begins. Because falling doesn't define who you are, it reveals who you can become. The ground may feel cold, the air heavy, and your heart uncertain, but that's where strength is born. It's in those moments of failure, of embarrassment, of disappointment, that you start to understand what you're really made of. You see, comfort never teaches. Success never questions. But the fall, it strips away the illusions, the pride, the noise, until all that's left is you, raw and real, standing face to face with truth. When life knocks you down, it's not punishing you. It's positioning you. Every stumble is a signal, a whisper saying, you were made for more. You learn that the same ground that broke you can also hold you as you rise. The same pain that made you doubt can teach you endurance. The same rejection that closed one door can push you toward the right one. Because there's power in falling, power in humility, power in learning, power in the quiet rebuild of your spirit. The fall is not the enemy. It's the invitation to begin again with clarity and courage. So when you fall, don't curse it. Embrace it, feel it. Let it hurt, but don't let it harden you. Every scar you carry is not a mark of weakness. It's proof that you fought, that you tried, that you're still here. You were not meant to stay down. You were meant to rise wiser, stronger, and more certain of your purpose. The people who never fall never learn who they are. But those who crash and still stand again, they become unbreakable. Embracing the fall is not about celebrating pain. It's about understanding that life's lowest moments can become the soil where your greatness grows. It's about realizing that even in defeat, there's direction. Even in loss, there's light. So stand in the dust, look at the wreckage, and whisper to yourself, this is not where it ends. Because the fall was never your failure. It was your foundation. Belief is the spark that reignites the soul when everything else has gone dim. There will be moments when no one sees what you see, when the world doubts your potential, when even the mirror struggles to reflect the fire that once burned inside you. That's when belief matters most, because true belief isn't built on applause or validation. It's built in silence when your only companion is faith. Believing again, even when no one else does, is the purest form of strength. It's standing tall in the storm and saying, I still can. It's refusing to let other people's doubt become your destiny. There's something sacred about rebuilding your confidence when the world has forgotten your name. It's lonely, yes, it's hard. But that's where character is carved. You start realizing that belief is not a feeling, it's a choice. A decision you make every morning when you wake up and your circumstances still look the same. You choose to believe, not because it's easy, but because your soul knows it's right. You choose to believe, even when logic laughs at you, even when failure stands at your door. Because that quiet, stubborn belief becomes the seed of your comeback. People might doubt you. They might whisper, they might mock, they might turn away. Let them. Their disbelief has no power over you unless you hand it to them. You don't need their approval to rise. You only need your conviction. History remembers those who believed when the crowd went silent, who walked forward when the path disappeared. Those who said, I will. When everyone else said, you can't. Believing again is an act of rebellion against defeat. It's telling yourself, I am still possible. And once that belief takes root inside you, it grows into something unshakable. Because the world cannot break a soul that refuses to stop believing in itself. So even when no one stands beside you, even when the lights are gone and the stage is empty, hold your faith. Whisper your dream again. Feel its pulse. Because the moment you believe again, even if you're the only one who does, that's the moment your comeback begins to take shape. Pain has a way of introducing you to the parts of yourself you never knew existed. It strips away the surface and forces you to meet your core. It tests, it breaks, it bends, but it also builds. When you decide to turn your pain into purpose, everything changes. Because pain by itself is just a wound. But when you give it meaning, when you use it as fuel, it becomes strength. Every tear, every heartbreak, every moment you thought you wouldn't survive, those are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you endured. And endurance, my friend, is the seed of greatness. There is something deeply powerful about refusing to let pain define you. You take it, you hold it, you learn from it, and then you build something out of it. The world may see scars as reminders of what broke you, but you can choose to see them as reminders of what healed you. Those scars tell your story. They are proof that you've been through the fire and still found your way out. Turning pain into purpose is about choosing to rise, not because it's easy, but because staying down is no longer an option. And when you start walking in your purpose, your pain becomes a teacher. It sharpens your vision. It softens your heart. It gives you empathy for others who are still struggling in the dark. You begin to realize that everything you went through, every loss, every disappointment, was preparing you for something greater. The suffering wasn't wasted. It was shaping the person you were meant to become. Strength doesn't come from the moments that felt good. It comes from the ones that nearly broke you. And yet, here you are, still standing, still fighting, still believing. That's power. That's transformation. The world will try to tell you to hide your pain, to pretend it never happened. But the truth is, your pain is your power. It's your story, your fire, your purpose. So don't run from it. Don't bury it. Use it. Let every scar remind you that you didn't just survive, you evolved. You turned your wounds into wisdom and your struggle into strength. Rebuilding with courage means choosing growth over comfort, even when every part of you wants to stay where it's safe. Comfort is easy. It's predictable. It's the soft place that keeps you from pain, but also keeps you from progress. Courage, on the other hand, is raw. It asks you to step into uncertainty, to face fear head on, to build again even when the ground beneath you still feels unstable. When everything you knew has fallen apart, courage becomes your only blueprint. It's the voice that says, I don't know how, but I will. And that voice, small as it may seem, carries the power to rebuild everything you've lost. There will be moments when courage feels impossible, when doubt whispers that you're not ready, not capable, not strong enough. But that's the test. Courage doesn't mean you have no fear. It means you move forward despite it. The ones who rise again are not the fearless. They are the ones who act even with fear in their bones. Because courage is not found in loud declarations, it's found in quiet steps. It's the choice to keep walking when your legs are shaking. It's the decision to try again when failure still stings. Rebuilding with courage means letting go of what was so you can reach for what could be. It means understanding that comfort won't heal you. Movement will. You can't rebuild your life by staying in the ruins. You have to pick up the pieces and begin again. You have to trust that every risk you take, every challenge you face, is shaping the version of you that was always waiting on the other side of fear. When you rebuild with courage, you discover something extraordinary. That strength was never about having it all together. It was about daring to start again, to create something out of nothing, to look at the wreckage of your past and still see possibility. Courage is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. And once you cross it, you realize the walls that once trapped you were never made of stone. They were made of fear. And the moment you choose courage, those walls begin to fall. Faith is the quiet fire that keeps you moving when logic tells you to stop. It's not built on what you can see, it's built on what you feel deep in your soul. There are moments when fear screams louder than reason, when the outcome is uncertain, when everything you hope for seems far away. But that's when faith must speak, because faith doesn't need evidence to believe. It needs trust. It's the strength to say, I don't know how this will work, but I know it will. It's the calm in the middle of chaos, the whisper that tells you to keep going even when the path is dark. Fear thrives on doubt. It feeds on hesitation. It grows stronger each time you look backward instead of forward. But faith is rebellion against fear. It's choosing to see light even when the sky is filled with clouds. It's believing that your steps matter, even if you can't see where they'll land. Faith is not the absence of fear, it's the decision that fear will not be your master. When you let your faith speak louder than your fear, you shift the balance of your life. You start walking with confidence, not because the path is clear, but because your heart knows the destination is worth it. Every great comeback is rooted in faith. You can have talent, skill, and opportunity, but without belief in something bigger than yourself, you'll crumble when the storm hits. Faith gives you the courage to keep building when the foundation shakes. It reminds you that delays are not denials and that setbacks are setups for something greater. It teaches you that the timing of your life is perfect, even when it feels unbearable. There will always be fear, the fear of failing again, of being judged, of losing what you've rebuilt. But you are stronger than that fear. You have walked through worse and still found a way to rise. So hold on to your faith, even if it's fragile. Let it be the anchor in the storm, the light in your tunnel, the voice that says, I can still make it. Because when faith speaks louder than fear, destiny starts to move in your favor, and nothing can stand in your way. Every new beginning is born from the decision to start again. Not when conditions are perfect, not when everything makes sense, but now, in the middle of uncertainty, in the middle of fear, in the middle of the unknown. Beginning again means accepting that your past doesn't define your potential. It means understanding that no matter how far you've fallen, how many times you've been counted out, you still have the power to rise. The comeback doesn't wait for the right moment. It begins the moment you choose to take the first step. It begins the moment you whisper to yourself, I'm not done yet. There's something profoundly powerful about starting over. It's humbling, it's raw, it's terrifying, but it's also beautiful because it's the moment you reclaim your story. You stop replaying the failures in your mind and start rewriting the future with your own hands. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, watch me. Beginning again is not weakness, it's courage in its purest form. It's proof that you believe in something greater than your current circumstance. It's the act of defiance that tells the world you're still standing, still fighting, still breathing purpose into your days. You might not have all the answers. You might still carry the weight of everything you've lost. But that's okay. New beginnings are not about perfection. They're about momentum. It's not about erasing the past. It's about transforming it into power. Every experience, every mistake, every heartbreak becomes a lesson carved into your soul, pushing you forward. The comeback starts when you decide that the story isn't over yet, that there are still chapters unwritten, victories unseen, and mountains left to climb. The most important part of beginning again is understanding that you don't need permission. You don't need a sign. You don't need anyone to believe in you first. All you need is a decision to rise, to rebuild, to reclaim the fire that life tried to extinguish. Because the comeback doesn't wait for the applause or the approval. It starts in silence with a single act of faith. So take that step. Start again. Begin now, because your greatest comeback isn't somewhere in the distance. It starts the moment you choose to rise. And so, my friends, as you stand on the edge of this new beginning, remember this: life will not always go as planned. You will stumble, you will fall, and there will be nights that feel endless. But within you lives a power that cannot be broken. A power that has survived every storm, every disappointment, every loss, and still beats with the rhythm of resilience. Your comeback isn't waiting for the perfect time. It's not hiding behind success or circumstance. It begins here. It begins now. The pain that once defined you can become the strength that refines you. The fear that once held you back can become the fire that pushes you forward. Every second you breathe is another chance to start again, to rise higher, to dream louder, to live bolder. So lift your eyes, straighten your shoulders, feel the weight of your past fall away, and the pull of your future calling you forward. The world may not see it yet, but something powerful is being reborn inside you. A new chapter, a new purpose, a new strength. This is your time. This is your turning point. This is the moment your greatest comeback begins. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now.